during a little rain burst. And one of the things Ray used to speak of a lot, and I don't care what it is we're asking a horse to do, and I don't care what kind of discipline it is or how complicated or how simple. It's the preparation of the horse for the position, for the transition. Well, that's easy to say. But that preparation is 95% of the results oftentimes is the preparation. And so the success is in this type of horsemanship, really, when we first start out, it seems like it's 95% physical and 5% mental. And then as we learn from others and get better information, pretty soon it becomes 95% mental and 5% physical in what we ask the horse to do. So it's our ability to learn how to communicate. But that preparation for the position is the whole key. The transition is nothing. The transition is a logical outcome to where you've made your idea become a horse's idea. Go with that small.
Well, one of the best horsemen I know.
Yeah.
And he is probably the most humble horseman I know.
Joe?
Yes.
Joe Walter. Yeah,
and
I agree.
I think that he summed it up really well in words that were not confusing at all. He says, I think it is the preparation is more important than the doing of. So the preparation for is more important than the doing of, which
Absolutely.
is exactly what you just said.
Yes.
But the words were smaller.
Yes.
And so if I can get him ready to do whatever I'm going to ask him to do, if he's ready for it, he can do it. But if I didn't get him ready for it, he didn't. So preparation for it, more important than the doing of. And I like that. I guess I need to give Joe some royalties because I use that a lot.
Well, it's just like, go ahead, Ken, you got it right?
No, go ahead.
Okay. One of the things that it happened last week even, somebody said, well, if a horse does this, you can correct it by doing this. And I said, that's that 1 foot, isn't it? And they said, yeah. I said, what were the other 3 feet doing? What? I said, what were the other 3 feet doing? What was his body doing? I don't know. I said, well, why don't we start there?
Yeah.
See, if we prepare for that position, and our preparation is right, and the horse understands us, and we're communicating our idea to become their idea, well, that's the effortless perfection. You'll do everything right.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't understand us, and he's not sure, and we do something by accident or something, and he does exactly oftentimes what we ask for, like moving a foot in the wrong place. It turns around to you, if you look at it in the video, you see where you actually asked for that. Well, and then you blame the horse for it when it's wrong.
Yeah.
He made a mistake. No, mistake is right here. So the better's all I'm trying to do, and I'm 78, I'm still trying to find a way to where I can take the idea I'm looking for. That I already know he knew how to do 20 minutes after he was born. And to say, this is what I need from you. So the horse says, okay, I think I got it. How about if I try this and this? Well, no, that wasn't quite it. Well, then you say, okay, what is it? Well, next thing you know, I get more of my whole body involved in it. Yeah. And my feelings in here and everything, and all of a sudden my whole body prepares.
Yeah.
And he says, and he finds it, and you say, yeah, that's it. Well, then the horse says, I think I got this. Yeah. I know what you want, man. So, like Ray said, now get the hell out of his way and let him do it.
Let him do it, yeah.
See,
well, these great horsemen that we all set as the gold standard, all of them they talked about. Know what happened before what happened.
Yeah.
Well, know what happened before this. Well, that's what I saw. What happened before that?
Yeah.
Well, something happened before that. So it's not the obvious thing that we all saw, but what were the little minute things that happened, the real subtle ones before that, either good or less than good. But what were those minute things? What little sign did they show before that? How early can we see something taking shape?
Oh,
And,
yeah. What a mouthful right there.
And in some of our visits the other day, Ray would flag a horse around and say, well, he's ready to get on, go ahead.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, he's not. But Ray said, yeah, he was. And every time Ray told you he was ready, then he was ready.
He was ready.
But what did he see before?
Yes.
They said, yes, this horse is ready.
Yes.
But what did we not see?
Yes.
And say, no, wait, I'm waiting for the big sign that says, come on. Not the little bitty one that says, you got this window of opportunity, step in.
That's right. So when a good field following a good field is right, it's going to got a greater chance of happening the way you're looking for.
That it does.
Yeah, and it's just like, how do you ride? How do you prepare when you're on the horse? Well, every part of your body prepares every part of the horse's body.
Right.
Even to get one sticking leg to move.
Yeah. Well,
So we've got to prepare that whole horse. His mind down, our idea becomes their idea. The idea going down through their body, down through their legs, down through their feet. And then it'll be doggone if it doesn't work out pretty good. And in the years before Ray Hunt, I'd done a lot of horses at ranches, feedlots, rodeo, all kinds of things. But I sat there and I had some pretty good calf horses, bulldogging horses, haze horses, everything, and I took credit. I started them on these things. I wasn't a trainer, but I thought I'd show a horse something, he'd get it done. And then about 10 years, 5 to 10 years after I met Ray and Tom, I finally realized one thing. I didn't know crap.
yeah.
What happened is I prepared the horse what I thought I wanted, and after a few times, the horse figured out what I wanted and got it done, not because of me, but in spite of me.
Right.
So he says, oh, these humans, you gotta take care of them. But I took all the credit for training.
Right. Well,
See,
we do that.
and that's
don't
where you see that a lot.
Yeah, we do.
But some of your ideas on that, you too can.
Well, I'm sitting here thinking about what you're saying, and I think about how many horses I've set up for failure. I really do, and I'm not proud of that, but
No.
to be honest, I've set more up for failure than have success.
Yeah.
And, it's only through what you're talking about right now, what happened before what happened, that you can start figuring that out. And for everybody out there that watches this, they got to understand something. You're going to make a ton of mistakes. You're going to mess it up right and left, but you just don't quit. You just keep going back, and the horse will help you figure it out.
Yeah.
We make mistakes. All of us will.
Yeah.
What did we learn from the mistake?
Exactly.
So if we learned something from it, then it was worthwhile.
Absolutely.
But if we didn't learn anything from it, it was just a mistake, and we'll
Yeah.
probably do it again. But hopefully we learn from our mistakes.
Yeah, I'm just blessed for having a lot of smart horses.
Yes.
Because they turned out pretty good. But by God, I could see after 5-10 years after Ray, it wasn't because of me, it was because of them.
Right.
I was probably treating them pretty good, and they appreciated that part, so they tried their best to fill in for me.
Right.
And you see that a lot.
We do.
But that's, but always, okay, when you're in the clinics for these people, like I saw last week, and you would paint these pictures, word pictures for these people. And everybody that ever gave a clinic trying to paint word pictures for people. But you did it in a way where it really meant something to that individual. It might have been one-on-one with Sally over here and John over here and Johnny over there and then Mary over here. It was a little different word picture each one. But it wasn't a one-size-fits-all.
Right.
Because you've got to tailor our stuff. And tell me how you go through your mind when you're looking at individual horses and people. You're trying to help them. What goes through your mind?
Everybody's different.
Yes.
We all have different skills,
Yes.
different flexibility, different education, different understanding, different talent. We're all at different places. And so are our horses. They're at different levels of understanding and education.
Yes.
And so to try to figure out where is this person and where's their horse at, now can we get them together to make something productive? And each one of us hears different. We talk different. We've had different experiences. And if I can figure out how someone hears me, do I need to use a different analogy for it to make more sense?
Yeah.
Or use a different topic altogether? Or do I need to hands-on feel my hands on your reins. Feel
Yeah.
how.
You did quite a
What
bit
does
of
it
that.
make sense?
That was good.
And I try to figure out whatever it is that makes sense to that person. And if that didn't work, I'll try something else. And I've been doing this a little while now.
Yeah, 18 years, I think, isn't it?
This is my 18th year.
18th year.
And so I have a little bit of mistakes to fall back on and some successes to fall back on too. And I think, well, this helped this person and this horse, and they're similar to what this person is.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's try that and see if that'll work or not. So I try to remember what worked in the past, and it's always fascinating to me. And by golly, sometimes it works pretty good.
Yeah.
But if I can find a way to help each person, then I've accomplished something for that horse.
Well,
That's what we're here.
I'll bet all three of us here, and we see a horse today, it's because they got some problem. Like running back and flying back on a lead rope tied to a post or something.
Yeah.
Well, the first thing that happens to any one of the three of us, we've seen, that brings back memories of about 3, 4, 5, 6 horses that did that.
Yeah.
Another horse does something else. Yeah, well, yeah, they remember the old Ronnie and old Sorley and old whatever. Yeah, and they were all different, you see.
Yeah.
But we go back to our experience. We go into that kit bag of experience and we say, well, which one of these things we're going to pull out is going to work with this guy?
Right.
Well, if you don't understand that horse to start with,
Yeah.
you're going to be a long time looking in that bag.
Well, and
So
a
fill in on that a
wonderful
little.
thing too, right along that subject is Ray Hunt took what he learned with Tom.
Yeah.
And he was already pretty dang handy, I understand.
Oh, yeah.
And then he went out and started sharing it with people.
Yeah.
And then he was really the first one doing things. And then
Yeah.
some of these other folks would go out and start teaching too.
Yeah, that's right.
And there have been some really good horsemen, horsemen, whatever. You know, you want to, wherever you want to put it in there. But there have been some really good ones that have been kind enough and willing enough to share their experiences with the rest of us. And what can we learn from Ray Hunt's experience, from his mistakes, from his successes, and then the next person that learned from him, that is sharing theirs also, what can we learn from their mistakes? If we can learn from their mistakes, maybe we don't have to make that same mistake.
Absolutely.
And then can we grow from what they have offered? And I think that's the whole point of trying to share these experiences. Used to be people weren't going to share their experiences. An old man.
Well, it was hard to get some of the old bridle horsemen. You couldn't get them to share your secret nothing.
I'd say no. I
Back
had
in
to
the
learn
50s, 60s, yeah, forget it.
I had to learn it the hard way. I mean, I ain't giving it away. You got to learn it that way too.
If you weren't willing to muck out stalls for 3 years, you might not even get to lead one across the paddock,
Yeah.
or even catch his horse for him. So,
You know, there's a rare combination out there in anything you go at, and horsemanship is not exempt from this, and that is the fact that to find the combination of someone who can teach, who also knows their subject matter well. I think we've all had folks who knew their subject matter but could not teach. And I'm going to plug Brent right here. Brent is a rare combination of teaching ability as well as great horsemanship.
I agree.
And I think that is a key thing. There's some horsemen out there who are great horsemen, but are not blessed with that ability to teach, and that's something that you have to look at. So I plug Brent on that. He is very good. He's a good teacher, and he's a great horseman.
I think that's very kind of you. And
That's the truth.
Well, one thing I saw, and I don't see, a person, if they really want to get to a long ways with a horse, you have to be right in here before you can take this out to the horse to offer them something. If you're going out there and belong to the bigger club training program, you're not right in the inside to start with. You're just sitting out there. All you're thinking about is control. When I hear people sit there going to the tack store and get a better bit, or they're going to get a correction or this or that, and they all start talking about control, I don't want anything to do with it. But when I hear a person say, you know, I'd like to find a better way to communicate through my hands to the horse's mouth, through the bit. right there is somebody I'm going to like a lot.
Right.
Because they're already thinking about communicating through the reins in a vehicle, not controlling or making or forcing or cueing. If the good feel following a good feel, it can look beautiful.
Regardless of what you're riding in.
Exactly.
And I think that you almost embarrassed me there a second ago, but thank you, though. I appreciate you saying those things.
I certainly didn't mean to embarrass you, but I sure do mean it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think that our job as aspiring horsemen and horsewomen is to offer our horses our very best. They deserve our best.
Yes.
And then I think we should work hard to improve on our best.
Yes.
And improve and then offer them our best.
Yes.
And then learn more. And then offer them our best.
Yeah.
And then learn more. And then offer them our best. And then the learning stops when we want it to.
Yeah.
And a conversation goes on all the time. Every horse I take, whether it's my best going horse or a colt or a student's horse or a horse that's had some troubles, and that conversation is, who are you? What do you understand? What is your best? I will ask for nothing more than your best, ever. And the other half of the conversation is, this is me. And this is my very best. And you will never see anything less than my best. Where can my best and anything up to your best meet? And what can we get accomplished today? And I'm going to work hard to improve my best. And I'm going to work hard to offer things where their best will grow as well. But I'll never ask them anything more than their best. It's like, what is the best you have?
And that's relevant to today even.
And I'll give them my best, and hopefully one of these days I can be doing all right. I used to think I had light hands. I was taught that's light hands.
Yeah,
and an old man said, well, you think you got light hands? I said, yes, sir, I sure do. He said, good. Let me see it snaffle bit. He put it in my mouth, and he did what I'd been doing with the reins, and almost knocked my teeth out. And I thought, okay, I have a better understanding of lightness.
Well, you've seen it, I've seen.
Yeah.
So many people, and where they think they're given a release or soft feel.
Yeah.
And all they did was relax these little fingers here. But if the truth of the matter is, if I cut those reins, they might fall out back door.
They might.
Because they're balancing on the mouse. A lot of times, and they're almost even the rhythm in the saddle at a trot. There's times they're just bumping off that mouse, and you see it a lot. Yeah. But they're not. But if you just cut the reins and gave them none, they wouldn't. They didn't learn how their body rhythm can match the horse's body rhythm, and they'd be all right then.
But we've got to start somewhere.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we offer them our best there, and as we learn more, we should let our definitions of quality change too. Hopefully, we're all growing there.
Yeah.
And if we can grow there, then one day we might be worthy of being in the same the same sentence or the same conversation as some of these other guys. I don't think that we are, and hopefully one day I'd aspire to be, but I don't think in my lifetime I should ever be in the same conversation as some of these guys, because they were, in my opinion, such good horsemen. But then if you ask them, they'd have said, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
One of these days, I hope to get there. I heard a story that when Ray Hunt came up to Tom and thanked him for all that he'd shared, and by all accounts, Tom was a genius.
Yeah.
And Ray said, well, it must really be something to know everything there is to know about a horse. And Tom looked at him with a startled look and said, I don't know what you're talking about. He goes, I don't know everything there is to know about a horse. I don't even know how much there is to know. And then when Ray said, well, wait, that is my idol. And he doesn't know, but he knows everything.
Yeah.
But he's not even close to knowing. Well, how much is there?
Ken just said a little bit ago, he used Paul's favorite line about this thing as a journey.
Yeah.
It's not the destination that's important, it's the trip, it's the journey itself, and how we go along and find peace and progress as we go. Not trouble, trials, tribulations, sweat, tears, and get bad till I find an X-ray for it. Somebody asked me once, why do you try to help people with horses? I said, so you don't have to have X-rays like I got.
Yeah.
And I said, I can tell you what caused every broken bone or dislocated whatever in my body due to a horse. As one word's responsible: impatience.
Yeah.
I was going to say I was going to hurry this up and get something done, and boy, I paid for it. So my timing wasn't fitting, and we've probably all had some experiences with that.
Yeah. Some of the mistakes get expensive.
Yeah, and amen. But Tom was one who I asked Ray one time. In fact, July 27, 2004, Las Vegas, New Mexico, at breakfast. And I'll really make the short version. And I asked him one time, he said, hey, we all know that Tom helped you with Hondo, but you were a hell of a hand before you ever met Tom. You could ride anything, do anything. Gathered Mustang, ran Wildcat, did everything. And I said, what was it after Tom helped you with Hondo, and we all know the story, that you could have just moved on and gone on with your life just the way it was. But what made you stop and change your entire life from then on? Well, he dropped his fork in the plate and stared at his eggs until they got cold. And then he picked up his fork and he said, you know, nobody's ever asked that question before. And I said, what was it? And if he was so long staring at the egg, I almost wished I hadn't asked the question. And Carolyn thought maybe I shouldn't have asked the dealer. Jayden was 18 and he sat there and said, well, they're just talking again. And he said, never had that question. He said, there was something that Tom had that he could see and help Hondo and any other horse. He had this something in him, in here, that horses could identify and respect and hold. He said, that's what I wanted. I wanted that. I had to have that, what he had. So from then on, I had to seek. But he taught me how to think.